Hey, good evening, everybody. How y'all doing? Thank you for joining Desiree Hall of Real Love Ministries or Real Love Ministries Live. I am so excited about tonight. Yes. And I want to thank you all so much for joining me. We're going to have a wonderful evening on tonight. I won't be before you long. This is like a 30-minute segment. And those of you who have been following me on Facebook, I just want to say thank you. And I also want to encourage you to subscribe to the Real Love Ministries YouTube channel. We're relaunching. And all of the Real Love Ministry Lives, This Kid Got Talent, and Star Players, they will all be posted on our YouTube page as well as our Facebook Lives. So we want you all to be a part. We thank you all so much for just supporting us and praying for us this far. We've had a wonderful time doing these lives. We've met so many great people. And tonight we are featuring Miss Kendra McIntosh, and she is a new author. Now, she wears a lot of hats. I'm going to let her tell that. But tonight, y'all hear that dinner music by that neo soul in the back? Yeah, because we're going to be talking about cooking, kitchen talk, because she has a new book. She is a new author of, check this out, y'all. Cooking. Wait, this way. Yes. Cooking with Kendra. Yes, listen, quick, easy, and delicious recipes. Some recipes are keto friendly. So I need you all to check this book out. We're going to be talking about cooking with Kendra, the new cookbook. And I'm so happy to have my sis with me on tonight, Miss Kendra McIntosh. Let's welcome her, everybody. Hey, Kendra.
Hey, how are you?
I am wonderful. Thank you for joining Real Love Ministry Live on tonight. We thank you so much for accepting this invitation.
You're welcome, and thank you for having me. I'm just so honored to be on here. You know, we've been already having fun in the background already, so I can't wait to see how this show takes off.
Yes. Now I'm getting a little reception, a little delay. So I don't know if they caught everything that you said. Can you just repeat that for us?
Yes, I'm very excited to be on here, and thank you for having me. I'm so honored, and I can't wait to see how the night goes from here.
Yes. Like I said, I just want to thank you for coming on. And look, tell everybody a little bit about yourself. I did get your media release, right? So I know that you're a worship leader, you're a songstress, songwriter. You just wear a lot of hats. So tell us a little bit about Miss Kendra McIntosh.
Okay, well, basically, like in my bio that I sent you, basically, again, everybody knows I'm a recording artist and venturing out to do new things. So I'm very happy to roll out this new book called Cooking with Kendra. Had a lot of fun doing this new adventure. You know, it's more of a more laid back for me, and enjoying just cooking and seeing what God's doing with my hand with this cooking, and just going to the next level with it. I'm enjoying it. So yeah, so this cookbook came out in July, and it's now in Walmart, Target, Amazon, Barnes and Nobles, like amazing. So really happy about that. Wasn't even looking for it to go that abroad, but whenever God puts something or gives you something and you obey him, he always put his touch on it too, and he sends it where he wants it to go. So I'm very excited about that, to see that a lot of people are able to see what Kendra's doing with this cookbook. So yeah, so I'm really excited about that.
Yes, you know what? I am excited as well, because I am so ready to dive into this kitchen talk, right? Because those that are listening that personally know me, I'm gonna give y'all a secret. I don't cook, right? You heard that, Kendra? I don't cook.
I didn't hear you. So, we can't hear you. No, just playing.
I don't cook.
Oh.
Okay, I don't.
Oh
But listen, I'm gonna tell you, once you said something.
no, I'm just messing around over here.
So listen, once I received the inbox request about the book and purchasing a book, brown skinned girl on the front of this cover of a cookbook, because we usually see our Martha Stewarts, our Ricky Lakes, and I was just so happy to see a beautiful plus size young lady like myself that looks like me on the front of a cookbook. And I was like, of course I am going to support this, although I don't cook. Listen, that inspired me though, right? So I said, okay, I'm going to support it. Once I received the book, I love the graphics, I love the quality, and I love the easy recipes that were in the book. So I always told myself that I was going to make some stuffed peppers. And I saw that in the book, that was one of the recipes. So, Kendra, I applaud you for following God, for obeying God, and doing this cookbook, because just as it inspired me, I know that it inspired so many. And there are other young men, young ladies that actually love to get in the kitchen and grind and do their thing. And they have come up with recipes, but they have not yet put it in a book. So tell us, what inspired you to actually go forth and do this book?
Okay, so wow. It has been a journey. So I started this book in the inspiration of the Lord said to me, Kendra, I want you to get this relationship coach. So this all started out with me preparing for my future. And so she was like, hey, I need y'all, which is Delareese. Her name is Coach Delareese Tarani. Hey, Coach, if you're watching this, shout outs to you. So I got inspired, and she was saying, in our mentor, she would say, preparing us for our future, husband, and she was like, I want you to get out there and learn, get out there and cook, be good cooks and stuff like that. And me, although I can cook, I always knew how to cook, but I was, I'm a single woman, so it's just like for me, I don't really have to cook like that. I could get up, go as I please, so my cooking skills, they were still there, but it wasn't as enhanced as what I'm doing now. So I went ahead and was obedient. And I said, you know what, let me just go ahead and do some better meals and just get really better in what it is that I'm doing. Because like you, I can cook, but I don't really have to cook. I didn't want to cook really. I used to cook a lot, a long time ago. And then, it just, it's kind of like if you don't use it, you kind of lose it, if that makes any sense. Right. But thank God I got in the kitchen around the COVID time. I actually got laid off my job. So let me just tell the whole story. I got laid off my job and I had the time to actually go in and, really start cooking. It was so relaxing to me. It was very therapeutic to me. Surprisingly, I wasn't expecting to get all of out of this of just preparing for my future. And so I began to look beyond the future. Like, okay, great, we're preparing for the husband, but I began to really start liking it. And I would get up like 1 or 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, and I would just start cooking. I was like, something is going on with me. Because it is not like, if anybody knows Kendra McIntosh, there is no way that I'm getting up at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning cooking. But it was just something that God was doing. He was just using this as a tool to not only heal me, not only to expand my gift, but to really pull out what it is that he wanted me to do through this book. And my dad, my dad, he's crazy. He says, I don't remember you cooking like that, like that, right? Because my dad, I came out of a household where my mom and dad are really good cooks. My grandmother's really good cooks. So when I was living with my parents at the time before I transitioned, my dad would do all the cooking, And even if I said, Dad, I'm going to cook, he'd be like, no, I'm going to cook. He was just that father. He's a caring dad, so he didn't really put that pressure on me like that. You know what I mean? So I thank God for that. So anyway, so while I'm preparing each food, and I'm just like, this is crazy. So it just really became a part of me. I really enjoyed it. It was very therapeutic. It was just like God was using this as a healing for me. And I would literally be in the kitchen just doing like different little foods, and God would begin to deal with me while I'm making these recipes. So this is my story of how this cookbook came out. Everybody, others, have other chefs and stuff out there that have their story, but this is how what God did with me through my cookbook. And so I just began to like really enjoy it, and just started the plating. Actually, did like I've never gone to, by the way, culinary school for this, but it's naturally a gift handed down for my grandmother.
Wow.
From my mom, and also through my dad. So it's a natural gift. I have it. So I wanted to take it to the next to that next level. I mean, I don't know if about you guys, but for me, when I have a meal, if I go out somewhere, the presentation is what really makes me want the food. So I thought about that, and I said, you know what? And just looking also at my coach, she has great meals, and I was like, you know what? I want to do that. I want to practice that, and so I just started playing around with the food on the plate, to make it look really pretty. And it just became a natural for me. God was showing me, hey, Kendra, you have this gift in you all along. Sometimes we don't know what we have until we actually come into that right person to help us, to connect with us, to just say, to pull things out of us that we don't really know that we have or always been there. So went ahead and did that. I started cooking lobsters and things that I always really wanted to do, but never did. So now when I go out, I'm like, I can do that myself. I kind of like my own cooking now. I like my own lobsters. I like my own steaks. I mean, it's a lot of things that I like. I'm like, I got my favorite restaurants, but it's like, I know I can cook that, and I'm going to save a whole lot of money, and I'm going to have about 4 or 5 lobsters versus one lobster. You know what I'm saying? So it was just like, I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. So while I was making this cookbook, amazing publisher, BB & Co, Kendra Sykes, all right, me and her actually are good friends now. The Lord, that was he ordained that relationship. So it's just crazy how that even came out too. And she was just a good book coach. Come on, Kendra, you can do it. Come on. She was pushing me, through the whole process of just guiding me along the way. And it really helped with this book, when someone who actually knows your vision, knows your style and what you're looking for. And she was able to run with that. So thank you again to Kendra Sykes, the owner of BB & Co. She's really good with that. And she's always publishing somebody's book. The girl is bad. All right. So also, let's see what else happened. So through that process, look, my grandmother is no longer here. She God rest her soul. She's gone for many years now. She's resting with the Lord. And I'm like, what? So while I'm making these recipes, I'm like crying. I'm getting sentimental because I'm like, oh my God, the Lord is showing me that I'm missing my grandmother. Because one of the recipes in the book is called Mama's collard greens, and those greens are about 100 years old in the recipe, from my great grandma to my grandma to my mother.
Wow.
So I always told my mom, and I remember telling my mom jokingly, it was some years ago. I remember I'll never forget it. Mom, if you're watching, if you remember this. And my mom we were preparing for the holiday. And I said, Mom, I need that recipe for the collard greens, because I'm gonna get rich off them greens because they're really good. So my mom was like, girl, please, you know how, like, no way, you're not gonna do this. So not just put it. That's why you say be careful what you speak, because it actually came to pass. And so I remember during COVID, I was like, Mom, I really want to know how to cook those collard greens. Can you give me the recipe? Right. So over the phone, my mother, I said, Mom, what are the ingredients? I'm gonna cook the collard green, because I'm a very fast learner, so it's nothing that I can't learn, and I'll actually nail it on the head, right? Mm-hmm. So she just was like, okay, one-fourth the water in here, this and that or whatever, over the phone, and she would send it through text, and I would send her what I did. I mean, it was amazing. And perfected those greens after 2 or 3 tries, and here we are today, Mama's collard greens. I add, it's really good. They're not too bitter, and it's not too sweet, and not too salty either. I mean, they're just an awesome collard greens. They're really good. They're really good. So, yeah.
Awesome. So let's go back a little bit, because you did say a lot, And I wanted to ask a question about what you said about the, during the pandemic, right? So,
Right.
what I found that during this pandemic, you said you lost your job, and sometimes we think a loss is actually a gain because we don't know why God allowed things to happen. And
Right.
in so many ways, looking at this pandemic, I feel that this pandemic was definitely a blessing in so many ways because we were able to discover so many things that we didn't know that we could do, or we
Right.
knew we could do it, but we never paid too much attention to it. And I am so glad that, you started getting in the kitchen and you started grinding because God allowed, that job to be, done away with. So you can focus on
Right.
things. And I believe even now in this day and season, those of you that all of us have went through the pandemic, right? And
Right.
some of us are still really dealing and going through the pandemic. I believe in this day, God is really taking a lot of us in new directions and journeys. We're discovering a lot about ourselves more.
Right.
And what are some of the other things that you do, working with this cookbook that you discovered about Kendra?
Wow. That I can really do more than what I was used to doing on that corporate job. And in fact, going back to that job, I knew that it was coming to an end. The Lord began to tell me, Kendra, this job is coming to an end. And I was like, no, God, I really like this job. I really like this money. But so it ended up happening where, like I said, the pandemic hit, and it was one of the best things that could have ever happened to me because I was able to just relax, and
Wow.
just do things that I had never done. I mean, I'm talking about just, riding around the town and just doing things that I like to do that I had not done. So, I mean, I love it. I consider it a blessing. I'm looking forward to doing more. It has really changed my mindset to really get me going into that more of that entrepreneur role. You know what I mean? Just, so this cookbook is
Yeah,
really pushing
yeah,
me forward to go to the entrepreneur. I mean, this is, behind the scenes, it's a business at the end of the day. You're selling you're selling
exactly.
cookbooks, and so I really liked that. I was really surprised on how so many have already purchased this cookbook. I'm like, what? I mean, when I first sent it out, I made my first $500 like that. You know what I'm saying? So I was just like, I can't believe
Wow.
it. You know what I mean? And I haven't. And the funny thing about this is that, and I owe you guys, those who have purchased the book, I owe you guys a taste of how the food tastes. When God gives you something, I'm like, wow, God, they love this food. I haven't even cooked for these people. That's amazing. They bought a cookbook that they haven't even tasted the food yet. This is why when you obey God, right? I'm like, that's amazing, right? But the food is good, y'all. I can happily say that. I definitely can back it up. And so I can't wait to do. I'm still gonna do the official book launch, right? Are you
Okay, I
there?
think we're losing reception here.
One moment. Let's see what we got going on here. What about now? We are losing.
I think we're back. I think, yes. Okay, we're back. Can you hear
Yes,
me? We do apologize. We're having some reception technical difficulties here.
yes, I
Okay,
can
all
hear
right,
you.
all right. Okay, good. To God be the glory. We're back. We're back.
Sorry about that. It's like, I guess the area that I'm in, it went down, then it came back up. So I do apologize for that.
Oh, okay. No problem.
Where do I need to pick up
So,
at? Because I'm not sure.
um, wait a minute. I'm not sure here. Okay, let's just go back. So now, you were just saying, how you were just so surprised that so many people purchased the cookbook, and I believe that you said you made your first $500 really quick.
Right. I did.
Is that
Was really
correct?
excited
Okay,
about that. I was
okay.
saying Yes, I had made $500 that quick, and I was like, "Wow, Lord, this is amazing." So I'm just looking forward to doing the taste test with everybody. I haven't done that yet. I want to do a tour in Florida and one in Atlanta, of course. So I'm still wanting to do an official book launch along with, a little, some hors d'oeuvres of tasting of the food, that so people can actually taste the food. So it's going to be grand. It's going to be good. Anytime I do a party event, it's going to be all the way live. My family knows that. I don't sugarcoat it with that. So this is why we haven't done it yet. Just trying to get things together on my end so that we can make sure that the lunch is just amazing.
Awesome.
So just look forward for that. Yeah. So this is and then it was about a week ago, and I was just reminiscing, thinking about how this book came about. And every now and again, I think about my grandmother because I know that she would be very proud of me, you know.
Mhm.
I remember I would go over her house every summer, and I always loved how my grandmother cooked. Her name was Rebecca Wimberly. She cooked for any and everybody around churches. She was an amazing cook. That is one of the top cooks that I've always admired.
Mhm.
Mother, and then my coach. So then I was like, God. So I began to sometimes every now and again I shed some tears because this is to me a generational blessing where you're able to take what was passed down onto you and make it into something, as opposed to every holiday you're cooking something and it's good for the family, but now everybody else, you're inviting people into your happen, and what we and how we ate and how good it was. So I'm excited about that, that I can share that and leave a legacy time in a book, you know, um,
Exactly.
of what cooking
Yeah, and you know
is.
what? And
So, and there's so much more.
yeah, you know
I'm
what?
sorry, go ahead.
Although I don't get in the kitchen and cook often. However, like I said, when I saw the book, it really inspired me because there are so many, like our grandmothers. My mother is she is an excellent cook, and I can just think of so many excellent cooks, men and women, and they never just took that step to put it all in a book, for the next generation. So I applaud you, Kendra, because so many times we talk about generational curses, but we never talk about those that are breaking those generational curses, or those generational where it's not really a curse, but we get comfortable, and a lot of things get lost, and and they don't get passed on, or this is the family secret, and a lot of people die with that. So I just
Right,
applaud you, for asking, hey, let me get this recipe, and you probably put your own twist to it to make it your own, and now you put it in the book, which is so
correct.
awesome and so dynamic. I want to ask you, what would you tell those chefs, those home cook chefs, that love to get in the kitchen and grind and cook for the neighborhood, cook for the
Yeah.
community, cook for those church reunions, those church anniversaries? They got it. They got it. What would you tell them? Because a lot of people, they feel like this will never happen. Something like this will never happen. And you're an ordinary person doing ordinary things, but God allowed this to happen for you. So inspire those and encourage those, that may feel like this will never happen for them. They know they got it. People, people comment and, recognize them so much all the time for their cooking techniques and their talent, but they really never did anything with it.
Yeah. I would just say, whatever it is that you love and you have a passion for, I always tell people just go forward and do it. Sometimes uh you never know who needs what you have. And even doing this cookbook, I was just like, wow, after I did this cookbook, I said, Kendra, I would never ever sit on my gifts again.
Come
You
on.
know, this gift allowed me to. Everybody knows me as far as social media. There's so much more in me. I mean, there's so many great talents that I have. This is just like the top, like the surface thing. But
Mhm.
I just enjoy doing this, and I just say, you know what? Whenever we take something that we think is small, it's usually bigger than what it is. So
Exactly.
we're always making things or downplaying things that, no, it's not going to be good enough, whatever. And plenty of time I was like, No, I don't want to do it. I just didn't want to do it. I was happy with being in the kitchen preparing for my future. I was happy with, I knew it was good. You know, I'm that type of person too, where if I'm comfortable with it, I'm good. I don't have to really display, you know, what I know is already good. You know what I mean? But God wanted me to go bigger. And in fact, he wouldn't let me go another step. Jesus, somebody, you got to go another step. If you don't obey God, I'm telling you, I got to stop right here. If you don't obey God, there's doors that are opening, but there's one more step you have to do. And God said, when you do that step, then you will go forward. So this is what I hear the Lord say. So anyway, so I was not able to go forward until I obeyed God to put this book out.
My God.
I wasn't confident enough. I wasn't confident enough. I was like, God, you know, me and so many other chefs that can really cook, and they actually went to school for this. They actually have like certification and things like that, you know. Here I am, little me. You talking about putting out a book? So there was some intimidation there, and sometimes there will be intimidating times where you're trying to roll out a gift, and it's like, you know, those are the times where those are signs. Those are signs. It's usually the opposite. It's usually it's telling you that you need to go forward with it, if that makes any sense to you. So if you're feeling some nervousness or you're feeling some, you know, I'm afraid, you know, that's usually the time that you're supposed to be going forward with it, if that makes any sense. You know, so I had all of that going on. All of that took place. Again, I had good people to help me, coach me through this. Hey, you can do this, go forward with it. You know, of course, I mean, I took like 100 pictures, you know, like, you know, before I even, like, you know, when people see me, they would see my pictures on Facebook. You don't know how many times I took those pictures. So now I'm a photographer now, y'all. Yeah. No.
So
I am a photographer now because that perfection is I will not put anything out. That's something that has been instilled in me from a little girl, watching my mother. I've always seen her, you know, put things out, best quality things out. That is something in me too. I'm like, no, I'm just not gonna do it. And if we're not gonna do it, we're not gonna do it at all. You know. So I had perfected it. No. So it took me so many times to take those pictures to make sure that those pictures was right. The food was right. Sometimes it didn't always come out right, or at least I didn't think it was right. You know, and if I like it, I know they gonna like it. If you don't like it, then they ain't gonna like it. Period.
Right.
Yes. So I would just say, you know, go forward, you know, and, you know, get you somebody to help you, to push you in that, and maybe pull on somebody who knows what they're doing in that particular field that you want to do, whether it's singing, teaching, preaching, whatever it is that the Lord is calling you, feeling that urge. Yeah, I would just say go forth, you know, in that. I mean, it's always going to be that scary. It's always going to be, oh my God, can't do it, whatever. But as long as that person, you have somebody pushing you to do it. I remember this prayer where she was like, Kendra, what are you doing? And I was like, nah, I'm good. Nah, because I turned it down. I was like, no, I don't want to do no cookbook. I said, I don't want to do this. I'm good. Me and my future, we great. You know, you're going to be all right. And God was like, nope, you got to do this cookbook. So finally I obeyed, because I wasn't going, you know, I said, God, what's going on? Like, you know, I'm applying for this and doing that. There's nothing happening. Not until I actually released the book. That's when things begin to open up again. So we just got to find out what it is that God wants to do, purpose. And actually coming from being a worship leader and going to this cookbook, it has relaxed me so much. It has allowed me to come, you know, just find out a new part of me. Like, I'm good. I'm relaxed. You know, because being a worship leader, being in ministry takes a lot of work, takes a lot of effort, takes a lot of time, jumping, pushing, you know, yelling, delivering people. So when the cookbook came out, I was like, I'm good. Yeah, I'm chilling, you know, but at the same time, not forgetting, you know, one of the main goals that God has called me to, which is being a worship leader. Right. So still working on some things with that as well. And I'm just looking forward to doing another cookbook soon.
Awesome. So, you know, I just thank God for what you said, you know, about obedience. And a lot of times, you know, we're praying and we're asking God for things. We're asking God, send me a sign. God, do this. God, do that. And when it presents itself, I think we're so stuck and we're so afraid. We're so nervous. we compare ourselves, who's out there, what they're doing, how they're moving. But God said, no, I'm giving this to you. And all God wants is our obedience. Obedience is better than the sacrifice. So, I just encourage all of you who are listening out there, just say yes to whatever it is that God is telling you to do. Don't worry about how many other people are doing it. Okay, if God has given it to you, they won't be able to do it like you. They won't be able to cook it like you. They won't be able to sing it like you, write it like you. Whatever the case may be, just say yes to the Lord. And, and Kendra, you were saying that a lot of things was held up because you were like, nah, I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to do this. And everything else that you tried to do didn't come through. But until you say yes, somebody need to say yes. I don't know if you hear me, but somebody out there need to say yes to the Lord. Whatever your purpose is, whatever God has placed in your hands to do, say yes to it. Because when you start worrying about the how, why, when, where, this person, you're going to be stuck in the same place and years have passed. But once you begin to say yes, I guarantee you, I'm a living witness to this, right? So I don't mean to preach it, but I know what God can do because he done it for you, Kendra, and personally, he has done it for me. And God will place you in the path of the right people that are genuine, that see your vision 110%. You see it 100%, but they were like, no, you cannot let this thing die. We're going to push you 110, 120%. And God will send you those right people. And, and once he put everything in place, it's gonna move. It's gonna move smooth. And things that people have been working on for years, God will put it right into your hands, honey. He will give you houses that you didn't build, wells that you didn't dig. Come on now. God will do it because of obedience. Hallelujah.
Jesus, my God. Yeah, that's good. For real. In this time, it's all about really obedience, regardless of what it is. It's so true.
Yes.
So, But you got to tell them what happened, though, real quick before we go. When you was like, when you actually, go ahead, tell the people about the experience that happened. It was so hilarious to me.
Listen. Okay, so I got this book, right? So I said, I was home on bed rest for a while. That's the story you're talking about?
Yes.
I was home on bed rest for a while, and then I got up. I started feeling a lot better, and I wanted to do something. So I said, you know what? Let me get up and cook my family a meal. So already my husband, he already know. It's our same routine. Ain't no secret, okay? It's not no secret. So I got up, I cooked. He wasn't home yet. He already came home with some food. So I was like, oh man, you already ate. He was like, well, how was I supposed to know that you were going to cook, right? So I just got up and I cooked my family a meal. We had a nice little spaghetti meal. Okay.
Right.
Spaghetti is good. And listen, for the record, spaghetti is not a side dish. It's a meal.
Oh.
Listen. Yeah. Stay out my inbox with it in the comments, all right? But I cooked it as a meal. And, I think I felt good about it. I know I felt good about it because they were shocked and it was like, oh, mommy is so good. Oh, mom, what made you cook? Oh, thank you. So, it inspires. That was a small step for me, but hey, it was a step because I don't know when was the last time I cooked, to be honest with you. And, I'm not proud to say it, but hey, that's what it is. We're always on the go. I work 9 to 5 or 9 to 6 and sometimes 9 to 7. It depends. And my husband is the same. So we're constantly in and out and on the go. So we just kind of got into the habit of just picking up things. But, I'm telling you, looking at the cookbook, going through the meals, I shared it with my mom as well. And I told you, Kendra, I said, you know what? I'm going to cook another meal and I'm going to use the recipe because I always wanted to do the stuffed peppers. And when I opened the book as well, I'm like, dog, she got a stuffed peppers recipe in the book. So I may even go live with it, right? So show y'all that I am going to do it. I'm going to cook. And I just want to say thank you because, like I said at the beginning, you know, just looking at this book and seeing a young lady that looks like me, you know, on the front of a cookbook, and she poured her heart into it, because I can tell even when I picked it up, I said, wow, this project has such good quality. The pictures are good. The recipes are written out well. This was well thought.
Yeah.
And it lifted me out of my bed to cook my family a meal. So I just want to say thank you, Kendra. It's those little things. It's those little things that matter, you know.
Yeah.
And it cost us to all sit, you know, even if we order out, we'll still sit at the table together and eat and talk. But when
what did your husband say?
My husband was, I told you, he was like, what's wrong with you? You know, like, how I know that you was gonna cook, you know? So everybody was just in that state of like, you all right? Are you okay?
You all right? It was hilarious. You all right?
Yeah. So
you all right? You cooking today? You all right?
Yeah. So they, you know, they just want to make sure that I was good. But you know, I just want to thank you for that. You know, and I know there may be other young ladies and young men just like me. They're always on the go, feel like they don't have time. I just think cooking sometimes is a lot of time consuming, and you just want to. I want to eat now. I want to do this now, and I don't want to wait. You know, but I'm going to tell you this: every time I do cook, when I do cook, I always pray over my meal that it will come out and they will enjoy it. Because that matters to me. And that's one of the things that I do like about when I go out to eat. I do go out to eat a lot, but I love to see people socializing and enjoying themselves and enjoying their meal. Yeah. So when I do cook at home, I want that same feel, you know, them enjoying their meal.
Yeah, that's good. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that because every household is different. I mean, typically there's some households where, you know, even the husband will cook. You just got to go with your flow, what works for you, you know,
exactly.
and your family. So I'm all for it. You know, whoever's better at what they do, let's just do that. You know, if you're not good at it, then you need to leave it alone, you know.
Exactly.
There's nothing wrong with that.
So let's move on real quick. Again, I know that you mentioned it at the beginning. How do they purchase this book? Those of you who are just listening, before you say that, Kendra, those of you who's just joining in, we're talking to Miss Kendra McIntosh. She is the new author of Cooking with Kendra. Okay, there are some great, easy, quick, delicious recipes. Some of the recipes are keto friendly. Tell them, where can they purchase your book?
Sure, yeah. So you can go on. It's available at Walmart, y'all. Now Walmart is
Walmart. She's doing big things.
Like, my book got to Walmart. Like, that's pretty cool. You know, the price is a little bit high at Walmart. I'm gonna be honest with y'all, but we're getting that change. So it's at Walmart, Target, Amazon, Barnes and Nobles. And it's also in Africa and Australia. So it's it's also an international too. So it's on other little independent websites as well. So, I mean, it's going abroad and we're getting it on Kindle soon. So publishers working on that. So, you know, I'm excited about that. You know, I mean, and I also have them too. If you actually want me to autograph it for you or sign it, say something special or whatever it is that you want, you can also DM me and I can go ahead and or I have a website, cookingwithkendraonline.com. Yeah, so I also have that website as well. I have to remember that, y'all. So there's many ways that you can go ahead and get your book if you want. And I just want to thank you in advance for your support. You know, it was a, you know, good time, and I appreciate you promoting my book and supporting. You know, that means a lot. You know, when you take these steps in your little small steps, and then you see it go big, and you're like, you know what? I remember Real Love Ministries. You know, I remember when, you know, we was on Facebook, and now I'm on Good Morning America. Yeah,
come on, yes,
Good Morning America. You know, the Food Network. You know, doing this because I've been hearing that a lot. Like, what? They go, I didn't even listen. Whenever, you know, Good. I gotta get my girlish figures down because I'll be on TV soon, y'all. Like I gotta get it together. Whenever the guy, because he's been telling me, come on, Kendra, there's things that I gotta do to go to go to that greater place. And I know that, and I'm working on that. I got some little personal things I'm taking care of behind the scenes, but that goes along with the journey. Sometimes when we're trying to go higher and things start to happen in your personal life, you're like, Lord, help me. But you still have to remember the purpose and the focus and the goal, and the goals that he's telling us to do. So I'm just honored. I'm happy. I'm elated to even come here. And I'm just looking forward to more greatness. I am excited about my new cookbook. That one's going to be crazy. Wait till y'all see that one.
So listen, Kendra, I need your help though, right? Okay. So you mentioned Real Love Ministries. We're on Real Love Ministries Live. And those of you who don't know Real Love Ministries, we deal a lot with marriage, relationship, couples. Listen, I need that recipe. What would you put together if we would hire you as our chef at one of our events to have that intimate sit down, just dinner with the couples? What would you prepare for us?
Wow, it's so many different ways you can go. I'll probably do a buffet style because I wouldn't want to limit, just like seafood. Because me personally, I love seafood. So I would do some lobsters, I would do some salmon, some steaks, and then some chicken. So you would have all that in a buffet style, and you have also your greeneries and maybe some pastas, like some potatoes or rice, so that everybody have variety. I love when people have variety, so they're not stuck in one, unless they just preferably want that. Now, if you're dating now, you want like a little dating lab, can you hear me?
Yes. Educate us, please.
I'm not gonna cut up. I'm gonna be good. I'm gonna be good. Okay, cause.
So what is it? If we're dating, what would that meal look like?
Lobsters, steak, asparagus, something, very just, high end, pretty much. You want to make a good impression, fellas. All right. So you want to go ahead and get that high end meal. That's gonna help you all the way out. Y'all hear
that? Take notes. Take notes. I'm not gonna start. I am not gonna start, Kendra.
Go ahead and get that high end meal. You'll be good. Matter of fact, just go ahead and cook it for her. You home run, cook the meal. You know what I mean? It's nothing like, I like that type of setting, because you get to know that person. I know this is God leading me, but I'm gonna go here. You get to know who that person is. You get to really see their cleaning techniques. It's a lot you can see in the cooking environment. Really. Cool. Yeah, but yeah, so anyway, that's a whole nother topic probably, right? Because you got Real Love Ministries, right?
Yeah, we can go so many different ways with that, but we're not going to do that tonight. We're not going to do that tonight. So I just wanted to just kind of pick your brain, because we do deal a lot with couples, and we do like to have nice, intimate settings, and also give creative ideas and tips on what these couples can do, right from home and not spend so much money or whatnot. Just give them an idea of what that meal would look like. So thank you for that, because I'm a seafood lover. I know there may be others that may not be into seafood, but some chicken and steaks or whatnot, and they can put it together. And you said with some potatoes, asparagus. And listen, what kind of drink would you add to that?
Depending on if they like a little bubbly, but you could just, get like, I don't know, apple cider, make your own personal drink if you want. I usually make my own personal drink, something to make it fun, and put some fun in it or whatever, so they can be excited about their drink,
Awesome.
It's a whole different thing that you can do, because, people have different styles and different food appetites that they like. So you kind of got to go with what they like, really. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, what do you like to eat? And, and then just prepare it for them, really. Because if you go ahead and prepare seafood for somebody who don't like seafood, you have a problem. So it's better to just ask them what they like and then just go over and beyond to make that meal special for them. At the end of the day.
Awesome. Okay, we're getting ready to just go off live. But I want to ask you, what do you usually do in the kitchen? Do you sing? Do you dance? I mean, what puts you into that vibe? You know what I'm saying?
Listen, believe it or not, sometimes I'll play music, but I usually cook without music because I make the music. So like, let's say I do something real good. If I'm experimenting on something that I never done, I'd be like, oh hey, yeah, oh my god, I'm really crazy, y'all. So it's like I get so excited in the kitchen. I'll even like just start dancing for a minute, and then like, Kendra, get back. You got something on the stove. So I really get excited about it. When so I'm really, really goofy and happy in the kitchen. Once I get it down packed, I really like to have fun inside the kitchen, believe it or not. So I can't wait to roll it out. I'm definitely gonna be doing that plug in real quick. That I know I want to do the cooking, from home and all that stuff once I get everything situated. Will be coming from my home live because I'm like, when are you gonna do that? Everybody asks me, when are you gonna do that? You gotta do that. My public's like, Kendra, you gotta get in there and show us the cookie. So that is the next step. It's coming. I would maybe next month or maybe next. We'll see. But it's coming really soon. But in the meanwhile, I'm just putting out different dinners and things that I'm making, so that people can actually see what I'm doing. So
Awesome.
yeah, so that's that. You know how it is when you get something new and you're like, wow, like, okay, what direction do I go? Like, oh my God, so many.
That's good. Now listen, we have 6 minutes, right?
Okay.
And I need for you, and I always ask this question, out of everything that was said on tonight, there may be someone that missed the part about obedience, or, they're still kind of lagging, like, man, or second guessing themselves. Is this really going to happen for me? What would be that one word of encouragement and inspiration that you would give that listener?
Eat the cake, anime. Eat the cake, anime. Anime.
Eat the cake. Okay.
Eat the cake, anime. Okay.
Yes.
Just do it. Stop thinking. Just do it.
Just do it.
No, seriously though, just do it. Don't be afraid. First of all, pray about it first, right? To make sure this is the timing and the season for it. Because you can have that gift and you can have that urge to do it, but it might not be the timing to release it yet. So I would say pray about it, practice the gift, continue just being inspired by what you're doing. And then, get you somebody who has an expertise, somebody you might admire that really, like me. I admire my coach. I mean, the girl is bad when she's cooking, I mean, I never tasted her cooking, but you can just tell that the food is good. I mean, we got discernment. That food good? So get you somebody who you inspire that can really, you can glean from, to inspire you to move into that, and then from there, it'll give you more confidence. Because I find that when people don't move, they don't have the confidence. They don't have that good person to push them, or even a prayer partner to say, come on, let's do this. But this is definitely the time to roll out because God is doing a new and a fresh. So we need new things coming out with different people. He's always recycling things, recycling people, recycling ideas, recycling gifts. I mean, those on top, but they go to the bottom, from the bottom to the top. It's just how the world goes around. So don't ever think that you can't go forth from what God is telling you to do. So again, eat the cake, anime. Okay, if you watch that movie, don't be violent. No, I'm sorry, I don't want y'all to get the wrong impression. Don't be violent. No, we don't want to do that. But the whole point of I'm saying that is just do it, right?
Do it.
Yeah.
Yes. So I just want to thank you again for joining Real Love Ministry Live. Everybody, I'm your host, Desiree Hall. I am speaking to Miss Kendra McIntosh, new author of Cooking with Kendra. Yes, this is available in Walmart, Target, Barnes and Noble, Amazon, you name it. It's just not on Kindle yet, but it's on its way. It's on its way. So
in another week or two.
In another week or two, every book outlet, you all look for Cooking with Kendra. It's a dynamic cookbook. I can't wait to do the stuff. Peppers. Yes, for my husband and my family. And listen, I had a wonderful, wonderful time speaking with you. And I just speak blessings over this book project and the projects that you have forthcoming. Kendra, you're just a bubble of fun. Blessing, you're a powerful woman of God, a prayer warrior, an intercessor. And girl, we just been talking it up. My husband woke up. He's like, I heard her voice in my sleep because I be having you on speaker. So he was like, I thought I was dreaming.
Desiree.
So thank you so very much. And everybody, I thank you for your comments. Listen, Kendra, I need you to go back and look at the comments, read the comments. Justin, hey, Justin, was saying obedience. They were asking for your contact and how to purchase. You know, we have those that are saying congratulations. They love your cookbook. So, you know, if you just need that encouragement, just go back and read those comments. They're listening. And we just thank you all so much for joining Real Love Ministry Live. And tonight we are speaking with Miss Kendra McIntosh. Yes, the new author of Cooking with Kendra Cookbook. Girl, this black girl, magic here. Blessings of God. And, you know, and she said it's international. It doesn't cross international waters. So I just want to encourage you all, when you say yes to God, when you say yes to what God has given you, when you walking in your purpose, because you can be active in ministry and doing other things, but when God has called you to a particular assignment, when you say yes to that assignment, you are fulfilling purpose, and somebody is going to be blessed. So, Kendra, I just thank you for being such a blessing in so many people's lives, and you're in so many people's homes. And look, you're fattening up so many people's families. Glory.
Do you see me?
Do you see me?
I got to lose this weight, but it's coming, y'all. It's all good.
It's all good. Listen, I embrace all of it as long as you're healthy and enjoying it. Listen, I love being that plus size girl. It doesn't bother me at all. Listen, eat and be healthy.
Listen, and then let's put that woman, honey. Let me tell you something, in the right places, baby.
You're not going to stop me tonight. You're not going to do that.
Okay, no, I'm sorry. Sorry. Let me bring it back on in.
Listen, everybody, we're going to sign off now. We're just having some fun. And Kendra, thank you so much again. Thank you all for listening and watching. This is also played live on Facebook as well as YouTube. And those of you that follow me on Facebook and social media, please support us and subscribe to our Real Love Ministry YouTube channel. Listen, we have not paid much attention to it, honestly, in years. And, you know, God is just pushing me to, you know, hey, start this YouTube channel back up. Put these videos on there so people can see the different projects and different things that are going on, and different people that are moving and shaking in our communities and inspiring so many around the globe. So we just want to say thank you all for your support and your love. Keep us all in your prayers. And like I said, Kendra, I speak blessings over your cookbook and anything that you have forthcoming. I just encourage you, and I encourage the listening audience to obey God. Just obey. Amen. All right. Good night, everybody.
Good night.